Here at Classic Motorsports, we have both an air-cooled 911 and a water-cooled 911, and today we're going to take them out and decide definitively which is the best. All right, before we get started, we need to thank our sponsor for today's video, and that is Grundy Insurance. Collector cars require special insurance, so don't just put them on your standard car insurance policy. If you do that, you won't have adequate coverage. Companies like Grundy offer this superior coverage because they specialize only in collector cars and have since 1947. They understand your cars, and ultimately you will save money and get better protection for your car with a collector car policy. To learn more and determine if Grundy is a good fit for you, click the link down in the description.
The water-cooled car reminds me more of a BMW from the same era. It doesn't remind me of the air-cooled car, I'll be honest. The engine's in the back, you don't really notice it because it's so more refined. If you think about the air-cooled car, the one we're driving here, my car, it's an 84. It has a lot in common with the first one sold model year 1965, right? The doors would swap over, the glass would swap over. It's pretty much the same car with 20 years refinement. The water-cooled car is really a clean sheet, but for tradition, they still kept the engine in the back. It's still a flat 6-cylinder engine, still a fast car. But to me, the water-cooled car reminds me more of my M3.
Well, and I would say for me, I think air-cooled people have a bias, and I think it's hurt the value of the water-cooled cars. That's starting to fade as people start to realize what good cars they are. But I didn't come at Porsche ownership from, I gotta have an air-cooled 911. And I've had 914s, a couple early 911s briefly. So I'm more of a Mustang or a Z-car guy. So for me, the additional horsepower, my car's got about 325 versus yours has about 200. I wanted something I could comfortably get in, drive 500 miles, do a track day or a tour or something, and then drive home and know that it was reliable and safe. So that really hits a hot button for me.
So why did you buy your car?
A funny story, but I hadn't really spent any time in one, and a buddy let me drive his GT3, 991 GT3 for the day. And I was like, damn, I gotta get me some of this. I started looking and I stumbled on this low mileage, really nice car, and it was a pretty good deal. And I said, you know what? I'll get this now. I'll drive it for 6 months and then I'll upgrade to the GT3. And after about a week, I said, you know what? I don't think I need anything. I mean, I have other faster cars if you look around here, but I was like, you know what? This thing's perfect. I don't need anything better, faster, or more than this.
For me and those of us of Gen X kids, this is the car that was hanging on the bedroom wall. As a kid, we all wanted one. I had the toy cars, had the die-cast, had the Hot Wheels. And about 15, 16, 17 years ago, prices were very fair. You could buy one in the teens, and they were out there. They were not quite used car prices, but they were out there. Opportunity came and bought it. And again, this is actually the only one I looked at. And I didn't even look at it. I bought it from somebody we knew, flew up, drove it home. Knew it would be the right car. And actually, a question for you, why do you still have your 911? Why do you keep it longer than 6 months?
It's probably the best car in my collection, if I'm being objective, as far as combining performance, practicality, and comfort. It's arguably a better, and I love all these cars for various reasons, but it's probably the best car I have. 325 horsepower in a car that size, especially as you said with the engine in the rear, it gets it immediately. It's plenty quick enough.
For me, why did I stick with it? Obviously the prices have gone up. For a few minutes, I thought I could sell this and I could have bought a GT3 996.
Yeah.
I would have had to put in a little bit of money, but they were about the same price.
Yeah. And those have gone up too now.
GT3 996 has gone up a ton. I like the combination of early and late. What do I mean by that? This is a 1965 car. It shifts like a 1965 car. It is shaped just like a 1965 car, but it has modern fuel injection. It's galvanized, don't have to worry about rust. It doesn't have AC. People say, well, the steering is too twitchy. Mine has turbo tie rods, which actually make it hunt even more. It removes a little bit of rubber with some metal. I like that. I'm also a guy who, for many years, had only a Miata as his only car.
Well, yeah. I mean, coming from a Miata, it's probably a different point of perspective.
So, and that's why I have no plans to get rid of it. It is for me, it's the right combination of performance. It's fast enough. It's not as fast as a water-cooled car. It's quick. It's lively. It's the experience. And I keep coming back to that word experience. It has a liveliness that a lot of cars don't have. The way the gauges dance a little bit. I don't know if you notice the oil pressure gauges, the oil temp gauges, or level gauges, they'll move a little bit. Everything has a little bit of a liveliness to it. It's got a little bit, not nervousness, but it's not over damped. It's not over insulated. You're not totally cocooned. You hear the engine.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a more raw experience. And when I first got in it, I was kind of like, I forgot how awful these things are. And then after about half an hour, it's like, this is charming more than awful. And another half an hour later, I was like, I'm starting to like this thing.
Yeah. All I thought when I was in the water-cooled car, I was like, I'm ready to trade. I want to get back in my car. I miss wearing my favorite hoodie. I miss wearing, my favorite pair of sneakers. It is, and part of it comes with comfort. To me, at least, I don't mind a little bit of pain. Would I want to drive this car cross country? I probably would. But I realize not everybody
But
would.
which one would you, if you had to drive from here to Seattle, which one would you take?
I would take the air-cooled car.
Okay.
It would be an adventure.
Props, you're a purist.
I would do it. We've done some road trips with it. Without the AC, the airflow is pretty decent. Even in the summer, in this heat of Florida summer, that's different. Sitting in traffic, it gets kind of warm. It's not bad. And
cars back then were designed to be driven with the windows open, and today they're just not.
Right, and this car was not designed for American summers.
No.
This is, it's a German car. Another thing I like with the car is sharing it. What does that mean? I've done many car shows, right? This car's been to Radwood, it's been to several shows. And I love sharing the experience with someone who doesn't come in with any preconceived notions. They don't know air-cooled versus water-cooled.
Yeah.
They just know this looks special. I need to photograph it and maybe learn a little bit more about it.
I mean, it's a shape that's lasted 60 years. So, I mean, is there a more iconic shape in the automotive world?
If they still made VW Beetles, you could maybe argue that. But it is a very unique shape.
I'm gonna bring a trailer every morning, and every time I see a 911, I'm like, oh, God, I love that silhouette. I love that shape. I need to have one of those, even though I do. I mean, talk about the classic ones.
Yeah.
It's certainly not modern and comfortable like my water-cooled, but it's certainly more comfortable than most of the other cars in this room. In its day, it was the top of the heap. The seats are quite comfortable. Other than, I don't like the pedals off the floor, and I don't like the way they shift. It just seems very notchy compared to most cars. And again, I come from 240Zs and 65 Mustangs and E30 M3s and that sort of stuff. So coming from a different place, it feels weird.
Yeah, for what it's worth, the bushings are all new. It's probably as good as it's ever going to get.
Oh, I know. They're just...
It doesn't have a short shift kit.
I mean, the shifter's about 18 feet long or something.
Yeah, there is a factory short shift kit.
Yeah.
I had one offered to me, and I was like, no, I want to keep it. I want to keep the original experience.
Generally, I find short shift kits do more harm than good.
Yeah, this is a factory one, so it was a factory option. But you're right.
It makes them more notchy sometimes.
It does, and I want to keep. I don't mind that it's the shifting. It's a little bit like driving a bus, maybe not quite that much. But that, again, to me, comes back to the experience. If I wanted a short shifting, I'd have a Miata.
Yeah. It's hard to compete with a Miata when it comes to shifting.
Right. Keep it what it is. It's a Porsche 911. It's not a Miata.
You like your car better. I like my car better. So what did you like about my car?
The power. It's got...
It's intoxicating.
And it's not a GT3. It's not a turbo. It's not what you'd consider a high-spec 911.
No.
It's got plenty of power. It's very usable. It's a very usable engine. The gearbox is very smooth. The drivetrain is nearly perfect. It's smooth. It's easy to use. It has no issues. So from that standpoint, like just looking at the drivetrain is A+. And does it need more power? not for just driving around what we were doing.
It's funny, most cars, the first thing I think is, boy, if this thing only had 20, 30 more horsepower, and I have never said that about that. And it's, like you said, it's a base Carrera. Every other one they made that year had more power. And doesn't need it.
And that's the funny thing. Everyone's like, oh, it needs to be an S, it needs to be this. What the water-cooled car shows a lot is how good the, quote, base car is, right? This is the base model car. It's everything you said you wanted. It's fast enough. It's very comfortable. It's very quiet. It looks good. Like, it doesn't look like any other car on the road. So it does everything you were looking for. It does very well. It is very good at being a car, and it's very good at being a high-performance car.
Yeah, and it's all at the price of a new Camry, essentially.
Yeah.
And it's, it's 17 years old, but it's only got 30,000 miles, and it's in perfect condition. It drives like a brand new car.
So what do you think it costs annually to own, keep, and feed your car?
I put 7,000 miles on it in 3 years, which is not excessive, but it's not nothing.
Yeah.
And I've changed the oil a couple times. It's been pretty much nil. Nothing has gone wrong or broken. And I think that's part of, it's kind of part of Porsche ownership.
And mine's about the same. I do, oil change every year or so. I don't drive mine as much as yours, but I do drive it a few thousand miles a year.
If it was more comfortable, you'd drive it more.
Well, that I work at home. Now,
yes.
But it's very little. Oil change, a year or so ago, I did a major service, and that I did a clutch. To do a clutch, you have to drop the engine.
Yeah.
I did brakes. It was time for brakes. But brakes are still pads and rotors. It's nothing crazy. It is surprisingly inexpensive to own and maintain.
So let's talk about value for a minute. Your car didn't used to be worth probably close to twice as much, and mine's come up some to narrow that gap a little bit. But it doesn't seem fair to me to have that much of a premium, especially on something that used to be relatively inexpensive. You would think to be worth twice as much, it should have twice the driving experience, twice the power, twice the everything. And other than appeal with a very rabid, loyal market, I don't think it offers twice as much of anything.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. To me, it could be twice the ownership experience. Why is it worth twice as much? Would I trade my car for 2 water-cooled cars? No.
Yeah.
And I admit it's a very acquired taste.
Yeah.
I could recommend to pretty much any car enthusiast, or anyone could drive your car and be happy, right? You could put pretty much, as long as they know how to drive stick shift, and if not, there were options. Anybody could get in your car, drive it to California, we're here in Florida, and be happy, be comfortable. When it gets warm, they push a little button, air comes out that's cold, they want to hear what's on the radio, they turn a button, music comes out. The air-cooled car is a unique taste. I also listen to jazz, right, which is not for everyone. So I get that it's not for every person out there, but for those who want it, it is the desire, it's what you want.
We're kind of at a stalemate.
Right.
I mean, as is typical, you love your car more.
Right.
I like my car more. You say your car is a more unique experience, and I agree. Not everybody would love that experience, and as we were just discussing, it'd be hard to find somebody that hates the way a 997 Porsche drives. It's pretty perfect. So I guess it really comes down to, well, the answer is obviously have both, right?
Well, why not both is the cliche. And part of it would be your budget.
Yeah.
I think part of it would be your use. If it had to be your only car that did everything in today's modern world, the water-cooled car, for one, you get real AC.
Yeah, well, and again, depends where you live. In New York, it's not as big a deal.
During the summer.
But even in the summer, you got good days, bad days up there. But here, you got bad days.
You could live with that car as an only car very easily.
Yeah.
The air-cooled car, I could live with it, but I'm really invested in it. Could the average person live with it? Probably not. I keep coming back to, I think the water-cooled car is a better car. I think the air-cooled car, at least for me, is more of the experience I'm looking for. And I think that's the question, is what experience are you looking for? How much, I don't want to say pain and suffering, but how much are you willing to invest in that experience? Are you okay with not having AC? Are you okay with driving a 1960s car?
And I don't have a problem with the air-cooled experience. I think overall it is better than half the cars in here.
Right.
But it's also, I think it's tremendously expensive now for, 80 to 100,000 puts you into a lot of different cars. I mean, from a Porsche standpoint, I would certainly look at a Boxster or a Cayman or a 944, especially if you're on a budget trying to get involved. And those cars are all going up in value. So none of them are going down anymore. So you could step into for 20 grand, you could step into a nice one of those cars I mentioned, use it for a few years, save your shekels, and move up to either a 997 or even an air-cooled, especially if you went with the 70s, the mid-70s Targas are certainly not 100 grand.
No, one thing we were talking with Porsche stuff, there's a lot of buy-in points. You're not going to buy a running car for $2,000, but there are different buy-in points. The cars we're talking, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $80,000. If you want to spend millions on a Porsche, you can do that tonight.
But you should buy the best one you can afford. That's always good advice.
Yes, buy the best one, and you should buy the car that makes you happy.
Yeah.
If you approach a car as a mutual fund, as an investment, it's kind of boring. These are all really fun cars. Like your car saying, I think the air-cooled maybe is a more visual experience. The water-cooled car...
For better or worse.
For better or worse. The water-cooled car is still really, really cool and special and unique and unlike any other car that was sold at that time.
It's been fun talking Porsches with you. I'm not sure we've really proved anything, but if you like this sort of stuff, please subscribe to our channel, and check out our website, classicmotorsports.com, because we're always talking about cool cars like this.
Support brands that support Classic Motorsports. Get your chemical solutions from CRC Industries. Visit crcindustries.com to learn more. If you like this video and want to see more, make sure to hit that subscribe button and like this video. And to see more stories like this, visit us online at classicmotorsports.com.